you to some breaking news out of India, where anger is boiling over in the streets, and a young woman is fighting for her life in a hospital. There have been violent clashes and protests with police firing water cannons and tear gas at demonstrators. The protesters are furious after the young woman was beaten and gang raped on a bus in New Delhi last weekend. We're also learning that a journalist has been killed in a separate protest today over an alleged sexual assault on a popular actress. CNN IBN's Parikshit Luthra joins me now on the telephone. First of all, what can you tell us about the journalist's death today?
Now, as far as the death of this protest, Randy, is all concerned, it all started from last Sunday. There was a 23-year-old victim who was gang raped on a moving bus, and there have been protests all over New Delhi after that, and there have been protests all over the country as well. And this protest that was taking place at India Gate, which is right in the center of Delhi, it's a very sensitive place. It's not very far off from the Indian Parliament and the President's house. So it is a very high security area, and the police have been giving warnings to people all day. And finally, in the evening, they really approached the crowds, and they started hitting them with batons. They targeted them with water cannons, asking them to really get out of this place. So this region, that is the central part of Delhi, has been taken over by the police right now.
And that's what you're seeing now? I mean, do you see the protesters? Are they running away? Are they injured as they're being clubbed by authorities there?
Now, as far as the protesters are concerned, they are back to the location. The police is not really doing anything at the moment because they faced a lot of flack for their action already. Now, right now, the protests are largely peaceful, but during the day, they had got very violent. They were throwing things at the police personnel. They were throwing stones, they were throwing bottles and shoes at the police. And this is a very high security zone. So considering that tomorrow is Monday and there would be very high traffic here, it is a major arterial road. So the police really wanted to get things back on track. But the way they dealt with the situation, because there were a lot of women in the area, they would probably get very highly criticized in the days to come.
Right. What about this young woman who was attacked? Do you know anything about her condition?
Now, as far as this woman is concerned, there were a number of women in this area, Randy, who were injured. They've all been taken to nearby hospitals, but no one has been really severely injured. That's what we are learning from our sources.
I'm talking about the woman. I'm talking about the woman who was
on getting things back to normal.
I'm talking about the woman who was attacked on the bus originally. Do you know anything about her condition?
The victim is still suffering. She's still critical. She's been on a ventilator for the last 1 week, but her condition is improving, say doctors. But it will take several months for her to get completely back to normal because she suffered very severe injuries to her intestines. A portion of her intestine has been removed, and doctors say it will take several months for her to recover fully.
I know that the protesters are calling this woman Damini, which means lightning in Hindi. Has she become somewhat of a symbol in India?
Now, as far as the name of the protester is concerned, usually, according to the Indian police and the Indian law, we usually refrain from taking the names of victims. But what has happened is that she's really different people whom we've been interacting with over the last 1 week, they've really associated with her at some point, because what happens is that every woman faces some sort of harassment in the capital on a daily basis. Crimes against women have been on the rise in the recent past, and this was a really brutal case. In fact, if you speak to police officers here and doctors who are treating that 23-year-old girl we're talking about, they tell you that this is probably the worst case they've seen in the last 7 to 8 years. And that's what really brought people on the streets. We've seen rapes before, we've seen murders before, but never have people really come to important locations in the capital and protested in this manner. It was the sheer brutality of this case which has brought people together.
Well, of course, it is hard to imagine a young woman being gang raped on a moving bus and nobody being able to prevent that. What about arrests in this case? Have these men been arrested?
All the accused in the case have been arrested. There were 6 of them. One was a bus driver, the other were his associates. They were all arrested within 2 to 3 days of the case. But really, the focus wasn't the investigation, because the profile of these people wasn't very great. They were ordinary vegetable vendors, they were ordinary fruit sellers, very ordinary people, and the police already had a lot of information about them. I'd like to point out a very key role was played by the victim's male friend. He was traveling with her on that bus. He tried to resist when these men indulged in eve-teasing, and he was really beaten up badly by them. And that's when the others really took advantage of the situation. So the male friend has really helped the police. He's been giving all the statements. He had given them the clues about the bus, the number of the bus, what was inscribed on it, the color. And it was through him that they really went ahead and reached all the accused. Now, another good point about the victim, we hear that she gave a detailed statement about the incident to the police. Now, that is something very brave, considering someone is so badly battered, someone who's so badly injured. She really made the effort to give a statement to the police is a really good thing.
Yeah.
Doctors tell us that she is walking slightly and her condition is improving.
Parikshit Luthra, thank you so much for your reporting and for that information you're bringing us from Delhi there. Appreciate that.